Hey, it's Scott Fox. Time for another expert website review. This time we're looking at JustLoveWalking.com from our good friend Sandra, a long-term and very friendly and helpful member at Click Millionaire's Masterminds. For this one, Sandra, this is for you. Congratulations on your new website. It looks great. Let's talk about what we can do to make it even better. If you're watching this video later on YouTube or somewhere else, I'm Scott Fox from ClickMillionaires.com, which is the friendliest lifestyle business coaching forum on the internet. And I also run ExpertWebsiteReviews.com, where you can get a website video just like this, where I review your website with expert usability, design, and marketing suggestions. But today we're talking about JustLoveWalking.com. It's time to go through this site piece by piece and see what Sandra has built to share her love of walking with the world and to see how we can help her upgrade the site even further from the already very strong foundation to turn it into a business. So Sandra, congratulations. It really does look great. I'm not making that up at all. I've been following the progress in our forum where all our other Masterminds members have been talking about JustLoveWalking.com, and I haven't been able to resist peeking in every now and then just to see what was going on in the site, and I've been looking forward to doing this review, especially because I'd like to thank you for all your friendly help and participation in the forum. You're certainly one of our more active members at Masterminds, and we all appreciate your contributions. So what can we get back to you? Well, obviously the turnout for your website clinic has been huge. You've gotten tons and tons of great feedback from our members all over the world, and I hope that it's been helpful to you. And in fact, I know it has because I've seen the volume of responses, and you've been in there in the forum responding and making changes here on the site too. So the resulting version that we have today, I'm sure, is still not finished, but it does look great. Now let's see what we can do to make it even better. Well, let's start at the top. We've got Just Love Walking, walking ideas, information, encouragement, and podcasts. Now, I really like this headline you've got here that gives you strong keywords and also gives you a real, well, you've encapsulated. You've given a slogan. If I come to the site and what's this site about? Well, bang, there it is. It's about walking ideas, information, encouragement, and podcasts. I think that's great. You've summed it up. A word that I see missing when I looked around on the site a lot is exercise. I don't see the word exercise, and I didn't see the word fitness. I saw health a little bit here and there, actually, like here's healthy right here. But I think you could use those words a little more often. That's sort of obvious to you, I guess. But if you want this to be optimized for search engines, people are going to be looking maybe who aren't specifically already interested in walking, and it might be easier for them to find you if you toss in more common words, like I said, exercise, fitness, cardio, things like that, that keyword research could reveal to you. But I think that would be a good idea to broaden it. I love that you've focused on this niche of walking, and I really do. I think it's an excellent niche, but I think you need to look at that niche from a slightly broader perspective when you're marketing it, because not everyone is sold on walking yet as well as you are. So this site definitely speaks to those who are already converted, but let's broaden your marketing just a little to think about those who may have just encountered this as an idea, have never thought about walking as an opportunity for them, and are really just looking for some sort of exercise. And you could make the case for them, and you do a nice job of it, that walking is their solution. But they're starting out by looking for exercise or fitness or something like that, cardio, like I said, some alternative perhaps to aerobics or calisthenics or weightlifting or swimming or whatever it is that they don't like. So I hope that's a helpful strategic suggestion for you. Now let's get a little more specific. Like I said, I like the tagline a lot. I wonder about the search box. People do this all the time now. I think it must be standard in a lot of the WordPress themes. Unless you think people are searching for stuff, it seems like a distraction to me. You know better than I do what's on the site and what you plan for the site, but I'd rather see that site, that little bit of very critical real estate used for something more important. I don't think search is probably necessary at all, frankly. You've got a nice layout here: home, blog, podcasts, about, and then down in the footer you've got a bunch of other links, including your disclosures and privacy and so forth, and archive links. I'm not sure why you need a search box. So frankly, I would get rid of it, or at least move it down so that it's part of the same menu if you think it is worth that, which I doubt, or post it down here in your footer if people do have a need for search. This upper box here should really be your most heavy-hitting, important priorities, and I doubt search is one of them. Okay, I'll come back to tell you what I think should be there in a minute. Next, Just Love Walking. I love the name. We slaved over this as a group for a long time in the forum, and I think JustLoveWalking.com is a really nice name. I think you did a great job with that. I'm fully on board with that. It communicates the enthusiasm that I know you have, and will help other people get thinking about being enthusiastic too. That's great. What I do think needs work is the logo. This is cute. It looks, well, it looks that. It looks cute. How about a real logo? In most cases, I'd rather see a professional looking logo. You know, you can go head over to my favorite designers that we talk about all the time in the forum and get something done there for probably less than 30 bucks, maybe even only $20. And, or you can go to Fiverr and get a couple people try it at $5 a piece and find something you like. I think that's an easy upgrade to make the whole site look more professional. You've spent so much time making the rest of it look clean and pro that this needs an upgrade. When you do that, I'd also like to see you add the .com. I know that seems obvious, but if you brand it that way, people think of it that way. And then when they're telling their friends, they say justlovewalking.com. And people remember it as justlovewalking.com. There's no question as to where the resource is and what it's about. You've got it together. justlovewalking.com. So I'd like to see you put it in there just in a small font if you maintain this kind of layout with smaller and then larger text. You could add a small .com right there and it would fit just fine, and I think it would help you in the long run. Okay, but one way or the other, I'd like to see you upgrade that as you have the rest of the site. Next, we've got this huge slider. Well, it was a slider, and you had these beautiful pictures like this one. It used to take up this whole blue band. I have been watching the site's evolution, and you've done a nice job of picking out these photos. Very nice job. You've also, per the suggestions of everybody in the forum, made these pictures smaller, and I think that was the right move. Before, it was so visual that it pushed all your information, all the stuff down here, below the fold. And really, I know you want this to be pretty, but this is where the action is, and this is where the money is going to be made. So I think making them smaller was the right idea. Unfortunately, I think you've kind of split the difference. You've got this love for these big, beautiful photos, and any one of them is a big, beautiful photo and worth being big and beautiful. But I'm not in love with what you've done, which is still using all of them. How many do we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 7 of them in rotation, and still taking up pretty much just as much space. You know, just because you made the photos smaller, that wasn't the idea. The idea wasn't just to make the photos smaller, but keep the space the same. The idea was to make it all smaller so that you could promote this stuff up higher on the page. Because again, this is where the money's going to be made, not with pretty pictures. So, as lovely as this is, my suggestion would be, well, let's see, a couple different things. This tagline is repetitive with some of your copy here. This, see this with this bit right here, right? Ideas, information, encouragement, podcasts, right? You've got that here and here. You don't need it twice. You've got all these tabs. You're wasting all this space, basically, because you want to keep the photos. And that's fine. They're beautiful photos, but you don't need this whole blue bar. This is on my screen 1 inch to like almost maybe 4 inches tall. And when you add that with this, which is just a menu and a search box I don't think you need and a logo, you've used easily 5 inches of screen real estate for stuff that is not going to make you any money. You're trying to entice people in, of course I understand that, but you're not using this very well. And yet you've got a lot to say. There's plenty going on down here, and you've got plans for a lot more. So the punchline is, take all of this, and I would compress it all down to maybe one banner. Why not take this logo and put it here? Okay, and then take your tagline, and you can leave it here. Basically, get rid of all this. If you have one banner area that's as tall as this section, and I'm gesturing to this blue section here, and get rid of the black section here, that's plenty. Frankly, I'd like to see you get rid of even all the blue and just lead with the black stuff, right? Now, I know you love these big photos, but you have no monetization going on above the fold here, and you're never going to make any money if you do it this way. This is not a stock photo website. So this is up to you, of course, right? And I've got great respect for your taste. You've done it. It's very pretty, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is you're sacrificing commerce for pretty, and I don't think that was your destination, your intention. You're looking to make money, then you got to get rid of some of the photos or make them smaller or make them serve a purpose. Here's the punchline, okay? If this photo is important to you, this specific one of this couple on the beach, then how about writing something on it? Or this one, this young lady with listening to podcasts. I get it. She's listening to a podcast. Great. That promotes us over here in the button, listen to podcasts. Let's go back to that one, actually. Just that proves my point. Hold on. There she is. And we'll pause that. Okay. As an example, if this is all about podcasts, then how about writing right on this image, listen to my podcasts? You could put all of this text here and lay it right on this photo. And then it would take up only this much space instead of this whole thing. This space could be used for your logo and your slogan or whatever, or an ad even. And you could compress a lot, this whole upper section, and just use this. I also don't think this white border is doing you any favors. It actually separates the pretty visual from the content. If you can get rid of the frame, I would. That's just a visual point. That's a preference, obviously, more than a substantive comment. But I think you're splitting the encounter with the beautiful imagery from the surrounding content. Another question is, beautiful shots like this and like this, I'd like to see people walking. Can you? Yes, they're beautiful shots, but this is not a photography site. Like this, beautiful, you know, oh gosh, what a great place for a walk. How about some people walking? Like here we've got people walking, but this is more of a stock photo of young people. That's nice, it's a little more generic. I don't know if they're out there. Like this, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Look, people walking in the beautiful nature. If you could just find one shot of like this, that's what I'd use for your banner area here. The slider thing is nice, but it's a little bit sort of techie. Hey, look, isn't this cool? Isn't this a cool toy I have? And especially if you're not using, like this one's a perfect example. Sorry, I want to pick on this beach couple. This is such a stock photo. I guess, yeah, they are walking. That's what I was just saying. But this you could find this on a car rental site, on a vacation site, on a hotel site, you know, a lifestyle site, a fitness site, anywhere. This isn't really saying anything unless you take this stuff and put it right on the photo. And in fact, I would recommend an easy way to do that if you don't want to spend money on designers or Photoshop is picfont.com, Picfont.com. You can upload this image and type right on it exactly what you want to say. So that might be helpful to you, and I hope that that makes sense. I'm trying to get you to use all this real estate better, and I don't think that having 7 different versions that are all saying kind of the same thing is doing you any help, except to show off pretty photos. So, okay, and I hope you'll take that in the spirit which is intended, because I think they're beautiful, but I want you to make some money here. I'd like to see all this compressed so that all you really have here is a logo, your slogan, your menu, and then some strong calls to action, perhaps associated with, say, 3 or 4 slides. You don't need 7 here, even if you want to maintain this layout, and I don't think you need to. Okay, so let's say you took my advice and we scroll down. We've reduced the header to maybe about like that, and we've got one nice image there. I'm going to go back to that one I liked of the family walking in the woods, okay? And it says something, your logo's over here with your slogan, and this has got a great call to action like read our blog, sign up for our email, listen to the podcast. I mean, those are kind of your 3 things, right? So 3 sliders sounds like about enough to me. Maybe 4. I don't think you need 7. Okay. Explore the wonders of walking. Okay, that's fine, very nice, but this is what they call happy talk. Why are you saying this? I think this is all just to sell this, isn't it? So let's spend a little time, a little money on your graphics. See our blog. This is a generic gray button. It's got a nice highlight when you roll over it. And this one especially is kind of pink. Sign up today. This is the most important thing on your site, I would say. And I think you need to go to Fiverr.com and spend $5 to get a nicer version of this and $5 to get a nicer version of that. Or take advantage of Easy Graphics Maker, which is free to you Masterminds members. And EasyGraphicsMaker.com, you can create some of your own buttons and spice this up a little bit. You've spent a lot of time on the photos, and I think you need to spend a little more time on the buttons and the art. See another nice photo. Yeah, you've got great graphics here, but you need some call to action buttons that will help you get your message across in a little more punchy and professional looking way. Now, finally, we get down here. This is kind of what I could see as your arrival bit. This is nice. Walking, joy, beauty, relax and reflect, peaceful. Like I said, I'd like to see the words exercise, fitness, health, those in here as well. This is all a little cerebral for people who are not convinced already. I think I made that point earlier. So I think this is kind of what you would lead with. For SEO purposes, you wouldn't necessarily lead with welcome one and all. This doesn't do you any good. But if you said walking can be the sport to change your life, lead with the word walking and this nice big font, that's good SEO practice and could be more beneficial to you in attracting new visitors. The Facebook thing, people do this a lot. You've only got 18 people liking you. I know it's early. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying, but that's not enough to impress people. If you want to make a point of Facebook, that's fine. I'd rather see the ads up there. This will grow over time. It's putting it up above all the other stuff right now seems to me to be overemphasizing it. We can debate that in the forum, but we can talk about it. Now, finally, way down here, we've got some ads. Here's the money. Okay, if you want to make some money, this is all got to be pushed up higher, a lot higher. And what I'd really like to see is this sign up being, sorry, not that Facebook stuff, but no, let's grab it. Just this bit. This is what I would like to see up here if you're going to keep this layout. This is the most important thing on this page. That should be first. Facebook should go below, and then your ads. Now, just to pick on the ads for a second, because that's what I'm doing here, is finding things that you can fix. An easy fix for you is I don't think anybody's going to visit your walking website and buy hosting. I think you probably know that. I presume this is just a placeholder for affiliate ads. And much more like this one, online shoes. I've never been there, never heard of it, but that makes sense. Walkers are going to want shoes. I'd put that one up top. Gucci, great. If people are shopping for Gucci, that's great too. I'm sure these are just placeholders. I would go ahead and just put some plain old AdSense on here. You haven't done that yet. I'm not sure why. Maybe you think you're not going to make any money with it, but believe me, I don't think you're going to sell a lot of Gucci or hosting here either. So AdSense is very good at targeting the content of your site. And it could also help you because these ads are sort of non-standard sizes. They look like maybe a 200 square. That's not a standard ad size according to the Internet Advertising Bureau. The widest the space like this is usually a 300 by 250, which would be much wider than this, but a little shorter, or yeah, about this height, I guess. But wider, which would then screw up your column layout. Whereas the skyscraper, which is the thing that is usually used to fill up space like this, the wide skyscraper is 160 by 600, so that would be about 2/3 of this width and cover 2.5 of these buttons, perhaps. If you work within standard IAB sizes, you'll find it much easier to find affiliate ads that will fit the space. So this is a non-standard size. You'll see, in fact, even this Facebook thing isn't fitting in here quite right. And it would give you more room for content if you made this column narrower, and it would fit more ad sizes more easily. And especially if those ads were moved up, I think you'll make more money. Okay, wow, 17 minutes in already. I haven't even gotten off the home page. I hope this is helpful. Let's look at the other ones. See how you've done these little icons here to make the different sections? I'd like to see you do more of that. Can you create a section, or sorry, an icon for blog, an icon for podcast, an icon for sign up for my newsletter? This kind of stuff, you can create them yourself. You could use easygraphicsmaker.com, which you get free as a Masterminds member. You could go to Fiverr, you could go to Logo Nerds. You know, there's lots of places to do this, but I think you need to brand each of your sections, and that's what I'd like to see. You've done a nice job finding these graphics, but if you just laid some words on there, you could use pickfont.com, like I said, and link this to your categories. I think that will help people navigate around a lot more. This kind of neutral, traditional navigation is fine, but I think you can pop it, make it a lot more interesting looking, especially if you slim down this header to maybe this sort of size. Then you've got, in this bar alone, I don't think you need it all. But if you wanted to, you could keep your photo about this big and then put in a pretty graphic icon here that says see the blog, and another one here, listen to our podcast, and another one here that says get more information, or another one here, top exercise tips, or something like that. Actually, this one might be the sign up for our newsletter, right? 3 or 4 or 5 of those across there is nice choices made in pretty icons. I'm sure you could knock that out of the park with your good design sense. Okay, let's move through the rest of the pages. The blog and content is here, looking nice. Yep, you've done a real nice job on the layout here. I hope you're taking all this in the spirit with which it is intended. You've done a really nice job of making this thing look professional. I'd just like you to make some money to reward you all the time you've spent on it. And this looks fine to me. Often you will pick a featured blog post and you want to keep that one at the top, or have a little intro. That's fine if you want to do that. The podcast section is fine as well. And here, this really needs some tune-up. This is this kind of funny salmon pink color here. This button really needs an upgrade. Here you've created another nice icon. Just do something like that if you don't want to spend any more money. And I like how this is present on every page. That's one of the good things about what you've done here. And notice here, the site would be doing just fine. Actually, it shows up better here. It's doing just fine here without your big picture, right? You've just got a thinner, actually this is still pretty thick. I don't think you need both this blue line that says blog and the You Are Here line. These two are redundant. If you could get rid of that, that would move everything, including your ads, up higher on the page. And then the About Us section. And this is very nice. And you've got a lot to say and have an interesting story. I think it's great. I guess I was going to say, yeah, here's the only place I saw the word fitness. This is a big deal online, fitness, right? So I would play this up. You haven't made real clear what your offer is on your email sign up. So if that's it, how about offering this thing? I'm not sure what it is. I guess we can go see. Details about your fitness training. This is a blog post, and this could be turned into an ebook. You have lots of credentials based on your ballroom dancing expertise and your Pilates teaching and all that. I mean, you've got plenty of credentials here, my friend. So you could put this into an ebook and hand this out. The top 10 benefits of walking or something like that. That'd be great. And again, I'd spend $5 on Fiverr or somewhere else and get a nice graphic made to promote that ebook, and I would put it right here just as you've done, but with a little nicer graphics. And yeah, I like the disclaimers here, of course. You got to gain approval. This was a question for you. I don't know why this login was here. This was confusing to me, so perhaps you can tell me in the forum, or maybe it's something you just forgot to remove. That's very distracting, at least to me. Maybe it's just your admin login, but it doesn't really belong here if this is a public-facing site. Then the footer. The footer is nice to have standard layout for this sort of theme, and you've got a lot of links, which are good for SEO, of course. What I really like is that it's gray on black. This is easy to, or a light gray, I should say, easy to read for people over 40 or people over 60 who are going to have trouble with low contrast. And the font is also nice and large. I think this is very well done and very nice. And I hope that all those tips are helpful to you, Sandra, because, we want to help you out. And we appreciate all your help. And I love this photo. I feel bad recommending you get rid of it or at least shrink it, but it's just beautiful. So I think you've done a great job. What I'd like to see is you sort of tighten everything up, like I said, and prioritize the making money a little better for yourself. In fact, I should say, just while we're on the topic, you could do worse than taking a big leaderboard ad, which is a 728 by 90, so it's kind of this sort of shape, and putting it right across the top there. That's how you make money, is you put ads in the way of people's click. And I know it looks ugly, but if you want to get paid, you put a big ad banner here and move those other ads up so they're over here. And people get 2 or 3 big ads on every page. That's how an advertising-based business makes money. So I know it would mess up your pretty layout, but that's how it is. And the next step for you, I guess, would be to think about products of your own, and it sounds like you're already on your way to me with your own tips for fitness. And again, because you have so much credibility with your own certifications and experience in the fitness world, I'd love to see you produce some of those products for yourself to sell them as downloadable information products and make some additional money. So I hope that's helpful to you, Sandra. Love to talk about that more with you in the forum at clickmillionaires.com masterminds whenever you have a chance if you'd like to follow up. And thanks for being such a friendly and helpful member of our community. If you're looking for information on walking and exercise fitness from the walking side of things, head over to justlovewalking.com. Sandra's podcasts are launching soon. They're going to be great. I've heard the first few already, and she's going to do a great job with that to keep you company when you're walking as well. And if you'd like a review like this of your own website, I'm Scott Fox. I'm from expertwebsitereviews.com and, of course, clickmillionaires.com. Come on over. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching. Get your walking shoes on at justlovewalking.com.